Oh, sorry, guys. Hang on. I want to talk about a list of my upcoming videos. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to park you on your little pan of ice, and I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay. Let me zoom you in on my list and turn my keyer off. That LED will drive me nuts. Hang on. Before I talk about my list, you know what I found surprising? I did the video the other day showing my logbook entries for my 0.1 and 1 watt contacts during my little experiment using my attenuators that I built. You know what I found surprising was the number of phone contacts that I made using 1 watt. Using 1/10 of a watt, I made 2 phone contacts, but using 1 watt, I made, excuse me, I'm sorry, I made 8 of them. It's 44% of the contacts I made using phone. At 1 watt, I found it surprisingly easy. Man, when you're trying to work these POTA ops using 1 watt, you only need to get one thing hanging on the end. 1 watt. They hear that? You tail end anywhere you can. During a QSO? No, not during exactly. You slip it in wherever you can, any port in a storm sailor. Yeah, right. You slip it in where you can. That's advice to you younger hams, too. Slip it in wherever you can. Okay, then. Back to my list. I published a schedule of QRP operation some time ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever. Didn't make a single contact. What I'm hoping to do is contact one of you guys that frequent the dump here. You know, I've stopped running that schedule, but I'm going to do another. I'm going to publish it on my dumpster here at my dump. I'm going to publish another schedule. This time, though, I want to see if I can work any of you guys. This time, I'm going to call CQ with 100 watts, single sideband. And I'm going to give some thought as to the times. But, right, I want to try doing it on 20 meters and 10 meters, and it'll always be in the general portion of the bands here, okay? Now then, let me tip you down. Do you log? We'll come back to that. Boy, you don't look centered in my phone, but I talked about putting my camera on a tripod, pointing it over my shoulder, and coming in here, sitting down at the rig, and starting the camera and proceeding to work as many contacts as I can using single sideband at the 1 watt level, and then again using CW at the 1 watt level. It'll be POTA ops that I'm calling, and full disclosure, I'm obviously going to have the POTA.app site running in front of me, and I'm going to be spinning the knob, man, and working as many as I can, if I can, okay? So that'll be, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the camera roll for an hour, and I'm not going to publish an hour-long video. What I'll do is I'll edit it down to the contacts I make. And one of you fellows gave me a really good suggestion. They said, no, you said, no, edit it down, but point out the time, show the time. And that's a very good idea, right? I'll show you the time I begin and at each contact. That way you know how long I've sat trying. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to do that. I will be probably doing that as soon. I was going to today, but the band conditions are awful. Here, I'll show you. My favorite way of checking band conditions is just with my logger, CQR log. I find spaceweather.com to be just terrible. It's awful. You're on an angle. But I find it the best way is just to look at my logger. Yeah, band conditions are pretty poor today. The planet is moving through a high-speed stream of solar wind. Man, I saw that it was moving, the stream of wind is moving at like 1.7 million miles an hour. So it's not a good time. Look at the A index and the K indices. Yeah. The band conditions are relatively poor, so it's not a good time to do my 1 hour over the shoulder video. Okay, but I will. As soon as the band conditions improve a little bit, I'm going to do so. One moment. Another video I want to do is this one. Can you actually make contacts by calling CQ using 1 watt? You see, these contacts that I've been showing you, I'm always calling somebody else. They're always POTA ops, almost always. And I'm always calling them. You know what I mean? But I want to see if you can actually make a contact or two by calling CQ using 1 watt. And on single sideband, I'm going to do so on 20 meters. On CW, though, I'm going to be using 30 meters. He'd be stupid not to. 200 watt PEP max, and no phone ops. I have a fighting chance there, man. My 1 watt signal is 23 dB down from the full legal limit of 200 watts. My 1 watt is 23 dB down from 200 watts, which is just under 4S units. Once again, hang on, I show you. Let's use my NANK units.xls spreadsheet. Man, I'll tell you what, a lot of work went into the spreadsheet. Now, hang on. Okay, guys, here we are at the amazing N8NK units electronic numerical calculator. Okay. Let me take my glasses off so I can see the screen. Let's scroll down to, have I passed it? I have. Power ratio to dB. Power level 1, 200 watts. Power level 2 is me, 1 watt. I'll hit enter, and you can see, and that my 1 watt signal is 23 dB down from the legal max of 200 watts. I stand a fighting chance there of calling CQ and actually working somebody. That's only 4S units down. Just under 4S units down from maximum full power. If you're S9, I'm S5. If you're S5, I'm S1. And that's easily workable. If anybody wants my units spreadsheet, it's on my Google Drive. I'll put a link in the I'll pin a link. Okay. So you can download it if you wish. I have another one. My N8NK RF Tools spreadsheet is beyond wonderful. If you're into homebrewing, transceivers, receivers, transmitters, anything using a toroid especially, if you work with toroids, oh man, that spreadsheet's glorious. Hang on. So those are my videos that I plan to do coming up. I'm going to publish a schedule of operation using 100 watt single sideband. Hopefully I can work one of you guys. That's what I'm doing it for. I'm going to do a video parking you over my shoulder and having 1 hour of QRPP fun. That's what, My video will be titled something along those lines, 1 hour of QRP fun. I'm going to make a video to answer the question, can you actually make contacts by calling CQ using 1 watt? And the subject of this video, we're going to start with this list right now. Okay, part 2 happens right now. And I'd like to ask you a question. One moment. Do you log? If so, what do you log? What contacts? And how do you log? I hope you say you do it on paper. If you tell me that, my heart will grow 3 times its size, like the Grinch. Do you log? How? Do you keep a copy on your local machine, like I do, and upload it to, Logbook of the World or EQSL or whatever? I think you can upload an ADIF file to QRZ.com too. I'll have more subject on that in a minute. More on that subject in a minute. But yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Personally, I log no contacts. And for me, it's liberation. It's liberating as hell. And it's a playground. I love making contacts and just not logging them. You should write down the call sign of the people you work. Otherwise, you'll feel stupid because you'll try to work them again, or worse, a third time. That's what I do. If I work a person in a contact, I just scribble down his call sign on my scribble paper on my desk. Yeah, I don't work any contests. I log. I contact a lot of POTA operators, obviously, using 100 watts, using 1 watt, using 1/10 of a watt, whatever. It's fun making POTA contacts. At least it's ham radio activity, right? I log some of the single sideband contacts I make. I log all of the CW ones. I log all CW contacts, period. And I log all QRP contacts. And I log all DX contacts. But I don't log any contact. I don't do any logging in contests. And single sideband POTA operators, activators, I log some of them. I don't know why. Logging's changed over the decades since the good old days of having a paper log. Paper logs are great, especially 50 years later when you can sit down in your armchair and look them over. It's a blast from the past. That said, the good old days weren't that great. You got 10 logbooks filled on your desk, and you hear somebody and you wonder if you've worked him. How are you going to tell? What are you going to do? Look through 10 logbooks at every page? Electronic logging is wonderful, man. It's the greatest thing in the hobby. But I insist on keeping a copy on my local machine. I do all my logging on my computer, and I upload the ADIF file. Now then, QRZ.com. I hate being asked, would you go to QRZ and log our contact? I'm not going to be a dick and say no, but the answer is no, I won't do that. Not only no, but hell no. You know why? Hang on. Because when I sit down to play radio, most of the time the lid's closed. I've done videos on that before. Close the lid. Right? Do me a favor. Do your hobby a favor. I almost cussed. Close the lid. No, I won't log it. I won't go to QRZ.com. What? Am I supposed to boot my computer up? even though it's in suspend mode and it starts instantly. What am I supposed to do? Flip the lid open? No. 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 Will I upload an ADIF file to QRZ.com? I never have, but I can if they allow it. You know, that I'll do grudgingly, because my logger allows me to upload with one click of a button to Logbook of the World and EQSL. They need to build that function in with QRZ.com too, since so many people use it these days. You know what's making me crazy on YouTube? Regardless of you're shaking. Yeah, boy, I'm sorry. I'll put you on the tripod. Hang on. I just can't stop the video and turn on the anti-shake. And you can't turn on anti-shake in the middle of a video, and I don't want to stop this right now. What was I going to say? Hang on. Oh, yeah. Man, there's a disease breaking out on YouTube. I've noticed something terrible. It's getting worse and worse. I'm wondering if Google is paying YouTube content creators differently now, other than just AdSense revenue, you know? Are they somehow using, boy, my mind is starting to draw blanks. Are they somehow starting to use comments as a metric to pay you by? Regardless of the subject you're watching on YouTube, you'll suddenly get this usually goofy sounding voice saying, what's your country of origin? We'd like to know. Leave us a comment. First off, there's no us. It's one dude using AI to put together a piece of shit of a video with video clips that have nothing to do with the subject at hand, that type of thing. AI has destroyed videos, just destroyed them. Now you can create content by doing nothing, by telling an AI algorithm keywords, let it build your video for you. We'd like to know your country of origin. And I've seen, your place of origin is one of them. Where were you born? We'd like to know. Leave us a comment. You know, I always feel guilty asking for comments to let me know how you log. It'd be great if you do, but you don't need to. I'm just curious. I'm just saying, I'd like to know how you log. What's your favorite sandwich? We'd like to know. Leave us a comment. What year were you born? Leave us a comment. We'd like to know. Have you ever shit your pants? Leave us a comment. We'd like to know. I certainly have. I hope you're well. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye now.
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?